views and opinions expressed on Geeks Under the Influence are that of the panelists and not of our sponsors, Amazon.com and TeePublic. Parental discretion is advised.
But then after watching MODOK, and then I go to the quiet place, and then I immediately start to be very aware of the noises my body makes, and thinking like, MODOK and me would not make.
Doomed, yeah.
Anybody that's been to a convention with me knows how loud I snore. So that alone,
God, you would not survive.
I would not survive the quiet place.
In a quiet place.
No.
That is the first night.
That's something that they never did touch on is loud diarrhea or people snoring. So
you put as much newspapers under the door, like the towel under the door. You're trying to soundproof your bathroom as much as possible. But you had like spoiled peaches the night before because everything.
Something sounds. This is a personal story right now.
You're doing like canned goods and shit. So you open up this like no label can, like I guess I'm eating peaches tonight, and then you're like,
and you eat more than one apparently.
They've gone bad. And then you're in the bathroom and you're just like wrecking the room, and then you hear outside. You're like, well, guess this is how I die. Just not how I planned my obituary.
Imagine what you would have to do if you were like chronically flatulent. The same thing they did with the baby box. You would have to like do like an adult diaper, but like super.
Let's imagine what that would be like.
Lots of baffles and shit.
I am imagining how that is to be that kind of person. In my brain, I am imagining.
I feel like you just have to take a butt plug and just go jam it in.
You
it's either that or death. You know.
Or someone who has like that hiccup disease where they like hiccup all the time. Just
imagine somebody with Tourette's.
All dead. Oh my
God,
they're
dead. I mean,
dude,
they were the first to go.
If you had Tourette's, so you're just like being all quiet, walking on the path, and it's like, fuck that shit.
I mean, I feel like we determined in the first 10 minutes of part 2, all the teenagers would pretty much be taken out in the first one because they couldn't put their cell phone down. So.
All the people that really annoyingly talk on their cell phones via the speaker while they're walking around, so everybody hears their fucking conversations. They all died early.
Yeah,
too.
that's the scene I wanted. Is that chick in 7-Eleven that's at the cash register talking while she's not paying attention to the cashier or the 10 people in line. I want one of those aliens to come down. And everybody just backs out of the line as she's like, no, blah, blah. And then it just comes and kills her. And they all applaud, and then they get killed for applauding.
Applauding, yes.
Yeah. This is the first movie that I've seen like in like a crowded theater since everything has like become normal. And 99.999% of the crowd knew the deal. Like they had read the title and went, okay. It's like the instructions are in the fucking title.
Yeah.
It's not,
shut up.
Did you forget the first one? You wouldn't be here if you had not seen the first one.
We reserve our seats and we sit down and we've got like really good seats. We're like right in the middle where all the sound is like going to hit us the right way. Behind us are 8 teenagers. They all got chips. Somebody definitely had nerds. And there's a noise as they're eating nerds.
No.
But not only that, they're talking.
Were you Sheldon?
I'm Sheldon.
Were you Sheldon at this screening?
They're talking to each other. They're playing on their phones. One of them is like listening to voice memos that they're getting during, like quietly, but we're in front of them. The women in front of us were complaining about the people behind us.
God damn, that's loud.
So about halfway through the film, when they go out after, I guess, hearing a voice memo that they had to make a phone call about, and then come back in, I'm assuming they were doing the like theater jumping thing because they did not give a fuck about this movie.
No.
They come back in and they're sharing the information that they gleaned from the phone call that they made. And I turn around and in my 40-year-old voice, in a whisper, went, could you please? And looked at them.
Good sir.
And by looked at them, like the silhouette of the people, these ghostly figures that are talking about fucking the chick they like in high school, whatever fucking thing they're talking about. I don't give a shit.
Me.
I was so angry, and both Amy and I both did the look back, where you just turn suddenly and look back, like hoping that they would get that they're interrupting other people's experiences.
Right. You just got to talk right away. Why be subtle?
At the scene, and by the way, spoilers for Quiet Place 2 and 1, actually, before we get too far forward into this. I'm leaving the theater talking to Amy about the movie, and she talks about the scene where they turn on the radio and they hear Beyond the Sea playing.
Yeah, right.
Right in that moment, she's like, and all of a sudden I heard Nicki Minaj. Somebody was like playing Nicki Minaj on her phone. But no, before we get into the proper way to watch a movie in a theater, which is definitely a reminder of, I got to smell people's breaths for the first time in a year and a half. Like
this is turning weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm like.
No, it's cool, man.
Yes, this is an etiquette episode,
Yeah,
right?
this is all etiquette. No, what we are talking about actually is A Quiet Place 2, a new movie that just dropped, the sequel to the John Krasinski directed fantastic horror film.
Fuck, yeah.
And we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of the episode. It's not going to be a bunch of old man, back in my day, we were quiet damn films.
Even though we started to do that.
We started that.
Yeah.
We're getting it out of the way at the beginning, but now we're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of this episode. So thank you so much for joining us for this episode on A Quiet Place 2, Electric Boogaloo. Welcome.
Things at work and shall be again. A changing of the guards, the tides marching in. You think you can hold out, but you know you're wrong. So you better join us now. You better do it fast, or you will be dead. Lie down, know the gun, 'cause it's compromised the dead. You played it safe.
Woo! Oh, shh.
Quiet. And he's dead.
Yeah, I'm dead. I would be. I have no doubts in my mind.
Yeah.
I watched it with Steven, and we walked out, and you're walking down the hallway, and you after watching this movie, you're so sensitive
You whisper.
to every sound possible.
Yeah.
That movie just trains you to be like, what the fuck? I didn't realize, like, my feet made that sound, or that made that sound. Like, yeah. It's just
I
one of
feel
those
like
movies.
You walked outside and you're like, oh, there's a lot of noise out here.
Yeah.
Because I think one of us was like, is that a fucking bird? We're just like, what the fuck?
Watching Quiet Place 1 was one of my favorite movie experiences in a theater because, like, outside of like going to see Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon in a super ghetto theater with subtitles, everyone had to read, so they shut the fuck up. This movie, you could fucking hear a Skittle hit the floor.
Mm-hmm.
It was amazing.
Oh, I heard nerds hitting the floor from the people be fucking behind me during
exactly,
Quiet Place 2.
exactly. And such a great time, though.
I will say, if you go to see this film and you do plan on getting food or anything like that, I mean, outside of popcorn's not super loud. Like, you're at a movie theater, people eating popcorn, everyone else can just shut the fuck up. It's a movie. You're gonna eat popcorn.
Yeah.
But like nerds or fucking anything extremely loud, the movie's quiet, but there's still music. You pick the time to actually eat the thing, so you're not being a dick
And
to everyone
even
else.
that-
in
Stay
the
away
movie.
from Bunch of Crunch.
I heard other people like masticating during the movie. And the thing is though that wasn't great, you're at a movie. There's going to be
There's
parts
a level
of
of you've got to deal with.
you've got to
right?
deal with. There was no anger about that. I understand people wanted to eat their fucking like nachos and shit, whatever they ordered from the concessions.
I will say this time around, there probably was more of that. But the first time in the original movie, literally people were afraid to like open a bag of M&Ms
Yep.
or
I was one of 'em.
or like eat something loud because like the movie was so quiet and everyone was just captivated. So, and this transferred to the second one to a certain degree, but
To a degree.
Everyone's got to relearn etiquette, dude, right now too.
That's true.
I will say with the second one, there's a lot of pretty intense moments to the point where 4 different times my Apple Watch pretty much asked me if I was doing all right because my heart rate had gone up. And I was like, all right, that right there tells me I enjoyed the shit out of this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, that movie got me about 5 times, and that fucking doesn't happen. Last movie to get me like that was like It Chapter 1.
Yeah.
No, that was the thing because I was so pissed off at the kids behind me. I'm fucking Clint Eastwood in
I feel like maybe
Gran
you should have
Torino.
seen this another time
Minus
because you're like,
racism.
that scene was good,
Yeah,
I
minus
guess.
the racism. But that every time there was a jump scare, there was one of them that laughed. And I understand that some people, that's their natural reaction to something that's scary. I do that
Yeah.
sometimes too.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm sure that's what it was. But in that moment of them being like talky and me doing that, like I'd already done 2 of the like hard turns looking at them. And I was like, "Ah!" like in front of them. And I heard, hee 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 hee. It was like, I will murder every single one of you.
And I would no, you won't because you only gave him looks twice. You bitch. You bitch.
No, the third time was the, could you please?
Remember the stern talking to, all right?
I gave him a stern talking
Good
to.
sir, I will take this glove off and slap you with it if you continue to talk.
Assert your authority.
So you were in the same theater as me.
Yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
was the one trying to give you the glove.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
Come on, man.
Yeah. But speaking of the people that would help me fight teenagers, we've got a great panel here
Oh, yeah.
to talk about Quiet Place 2. First off, of course, is from Beautiful Disasters. Herr Grutz is here.
what's up?
What's up, man?
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It has been a minute. I'm glad that we're back in. This is the first time since we've come back to in-persons that you've been on the GUI panel.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah. I'm
It's
excited.
great to be vaccinated. It's great to be back with friends.
And I like the thruple action that happens with our next guest, who's your co-host on Beautiful Disasters, and also
yeah.
the co-host for
Oh, this
Lowdown
is
as
weird.
well.
This is
He's the pivot
awkward.
man. You're just the pivot man.
Like both of your girlfriends are here, Hunter.
I know. You're
There's
not
a
supposed
lot
to
of
be here at the
cross
same time.
pollination.
If he's the pivot man, he's getting both holes filled, so he is actually the bitch.
Cross-pollination.
Cross-pollination.
Lot of
Yeah,
it.
How did I become the bitch?
Being you.
I'm co-host. God damn it.
Just being you.
You say bitch every time you get
That's true.
introduced.
That
That's
is
the
true.
talk to everybody else.
Yeah,
I'm
we are,
making
we are
them
of
my
course,
bitch.
talking about the gentleman that's on every show on the network. Fuck you, Hunter.
What's up, bitches?
There it is.
Yeah.
There it
Yeah.
is.
There it is.
And as I look at both of y'all.
Yeah, yeah.
What's up, bitches?
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
up, bitches?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Finger cuffs, bitch. Finger cuffs.
I'm a little scared to low down. I don't. All right. So, yes, sir. Whatever.
That's right. That's what I thought.
The gentleman that's filling one of Hunter's holes during From the Mouths of Madness,
Aw. My ear holes.
and mine on breaks during GUI and GUI nights. My partner in running this network and my co-host on this show, we've got Lowdown Brown MacGyver here.
What's going on, everyone? How you doing?
So you were fortunate not to have to deal with any teenagers that you had to bury in the desert,
We
I think.
didn't have any teenagers. We were lucky enough to view it in a not super crowded theater.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Because let's face it, like, especially if you go like opening night, like not everyone is amped to get right back out there. You know?
I'll be honest. You kind of just got. I mean, obviously, theaters back open. We had it in 7 different theaters. Some theaters you had 40 to 50 people in. Others you had 3 to 4 people
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
And it's just that matter of the showtime. And it sounds like you unfortunately
Got a
picked the
rough
wrong-
one.
You picked.
Did you go at
You
like
chose
7?
poorly.
We went at, it was the
7:30.
8 o'clock show.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah.
No, go
Yeah,
for like the
I'll give you some
9:30.
show times, and if you want to avoid teenagers,
Yeah.
7:30 to 8:30. Yeah.
Look at like the 9 to 10.
No, 9 to 10 usually
No.
safe.
I'm
No, that's what I'm saying.
exaggerating
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
fun. Like, I did get to watch the movie and enjoy the movie, but there were enough times where I'm just like, I don't really care that she hasn't texted you back yet.
No,
I don't.
And I
need to-
completely understand because
know
literally
that
there's been times
information.
where I have a adult auditorium literally for a PG-13 horror movie where literally we just wait till they come out and they're like, they won't shut up. I'm like, here, just go to auditorium 4 and the same movie's playing, okay? Like,
Yeah.
they usually know by the second trailer how the rest of the night's
Fair.
gonna.
I got
It's
you.
not like that all the teenagers wait till the movie starts and they go, okay, now we can start talking. No,
No.
They literally, the minute they sit down,
That was
they're-
this fucking sneaky shit. 'Cause they showed up 5 minutes after the movie started.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, then you're fucked.
So,
We're settled in.
So
they
good
were
to go.
25 minutes late to the movie.
Yeah.
And they were talking.
Yep.
Assholes.
Yeah.
the fucking old bastard of
Yeah.
the podcast tonight.
Mm.
That's all you're getting. We got
Hey,
Hobbit.
Low down
Jesus
careful. He's going
Christ.
to give us a talking to, all right?
You need to go
Yeah.
nobody on those motherfuckers. You should be, I'm going to
Jesus.
fuck you up.
Get off my
Oh,
lawn.
I'm like that. I'm like that. We've literally
All right.
been ranting about
All right,
etiquette.
all right. So, yeah, let's get into
We need to
Quiet
get
Place
into the
2.
movie somewhat in this episode.
The Etiquette Podcast. We're on it.
But
So-
I will say, I think with this movie, something that could possibly kind of irritate you a little bit, this movie is all about the atmosphere and the sound. So something that might be slightly irritating is a little bit more intense because, again, you want that silence. You want...
I didn't go see fucking Cruella. Like,
Yeah.
I saw A Quiet Place. It's
Two.
in the fuck two. So you've had 2 times to learn the rules. 2 times.
Now he's turned to the count. You had 2 times.
2 times.
So I will say that, yes, you do want it quiet, but with this film as well, you get a lot more sound as well.
Yeah.
As with the first one, it was a mix, right? You think A Quiet Place, the whole movie's gonna be silent. It's like, no, there is still music, there is noise. With this one, there's even more of that though. Like I figured there's a lot less
It's so
quiet scenes. A lot of them had to do with the daughter who's deaf. So when it was from her perspective, you got dead silence.
That was something I really did like too, is that you'll have these moments that are really tense and then it'll go silent and it's her point and you're like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
But it wasn't entirely silent. And they actually did really awesome sound design because apparently she's not 100% deaf.
Mm-mm.
She can hear a certain muffled amount
Certain
of
frequency,
minor
I guess.
stuff. And they actually integrated that into the fucking sound design, which was amazing. And it shows up in the opening scene where you got a flashback from day one.
Mm-hmm.
Which was an incredible scene.
That
which
was amazing.
That car scene, was,
which also was shot like they did everything they could to basically make that a one-shot sequence, which there were a couple cuts and they were very clever, and ILM had like their backs on all the effects and stuff, but like whenever the camera moves to her, you get like this muffled, like barely audible, like things are happening, and that shit was awesome.
That's why I appreciate her interaction with Redneck Mad Max when he starts talking and like literally she's like, speak slower so I can read your lips.
she says enunciate.
Yeah, enunciate. But then there's another part where he's talking, not even looking at her, and she's like, really? Did we go over this?
I'm a huge fan of Cillian Murphy, and to see him playing the dude that is the alcoholic of the small southern town that calls his son a sissy all the time. Like, I've met this dude so many times. I lived in a small southern town. There's 3,200 of those.
Yeah.
And Cillian Murphy fully played that character. The first time you see him, before he even says anything, he's wearing the fucking hat.
Yep.
And he's like a little beard, and he looks over like, yeah, yep. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yep.
Oh, you nailed it. You fucking nailed it.
And I will say they tried to make it more grizzled, obviously after the fact when they meet up again. And I'm like, you just can't make that man look grizzled. His high cheekbones and piercing eyes, you just can't make him look grizzled.
His cheekbones were over his big beard. He had a big beard, and his cheekbones were like peeking out like the fucking old graffiti, the guy with the nose that
big
sticks
nose,
over the wall.
Yeah.
That's his cheekbones. Be like, hi, I'm here.
But it's like you can't make him look bad. You could try, but he didn't look rough. Like you see all these other people that look like
Most
shit.
of us have facial hair to cover our shitty faces. He like still looks good with a beard, and also his gorgeous face is just shining through it.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfair, sir. It's unfair.
That's I don't know what is it. He's straight European, so that's
Well,
Yeah.
it's just genetics.
it's just genetics.
He won the lottery.
God, it's so unfair.
But did you get that? Did you really get that feel from his character from the beginning? That he was like this like hard ass to that point? Like 'cause he didn't seem like a douche.
Just kind of projecting with his kid, like in the baseball game.
No, he was cheering him on and he didn't get it. He said, like he was disappointed, like because he wanted his kid to do the thing for him. You don't know if it was for him or for his kid's sake, so you don't know. So
No, he came across as a character as ultimately broken, and he delivered because he can. Like, he's an amazing actor.
Yes.
So.
I loved the conversation that was happening through Quiet Place 2 between, John Krasinski's character and Cillian Murphy's character, that the daughter was like, you're nothing like my dad. And everybody in the crowd was like, yeah, no shit. Like,
Yeah,
of course
duh.
it's not.
duh.
But there was a kindness to Krasinski's character throughout the entirety of the first film where you understood that he was motivated not just by his own safety, but he had other things that he was focused on. And there's this other character, Cillian Murphy, who he lost everything that he would have had that ability to be motivated by, his wife, his children. So his entire motivation is his self, preservation. And I think it suggests that, that might be why they weren't as safe as, say, Krasinski's family was, is because of his inability to react in dangerous situations smartly while protecting the people important to him. Like, he probably went, fuck, let's hide, loudly as he ran down the street. Oh, no,
Krasinski
there's
also
monsters.
He says it was that she was screaming.
Right.
She was in pain.
There's a parallel between them because they're both responsible, quasi-badass dudes, but the difference is that Krasinski's character, the father, had to protect his family, and he became, obsessed with it and, almost quasi, psychotic about it.
Yeah.
Making sure that they were fine.
Painting the floorboards,
Exactly.
where the creaks were.
Murphy's character, lost everyone. So all of that energy went to him trying to survive.
Well, Murphy's character, you pretty much pick up, he lost his family like that. Where Jim,
Mr. Halpert.
Yeah, Mr. Halpert pretty much
You're
was
nasty.
able, with the exception of one loud space shuttle, was able to keep his family safe, and he became pretty obsessive after that incident with the youngest.
Right.
That's where I think he probably went over the edge
Yeah.
with it.
Yes.
And with Cillian's character, you say that with what Hunter said, he lost everything right off the bat. That it became this self-preservation and selfishness, but it became that through dealing with the grief of losing the thing that he was supposed to protect, and he didn't overcome that until he protected Krasinski's family.
Yep.
Like that was his arc because
Right.
he still had his wife's fucking corpse after he moved them. Right?
Yeah.
Like, he couldn't. So
That was a lot.
He couldn't help his wife's pain, which is what gave them away. Like he was doing everything he was supposed to, and her pain got so bad that she couldn't stop screaming, and you can't. What can you do? What can you do there?
That was
You know?
harsh.
Well,
You know?
and yeah, he closed off so completely that even after the son got caught in a fucking bear trap,
Oh,
and that was
man.
He was ready to shoot
gruesome.
him. Ready to shoot him in
That
the fucking head.
scene was incredible.
And
the
that
acting
kid, yeah, well,
from that kid.
he's been in a million things.
Noah Jupe, right?
Noah Jupe, yeah.
Yeah.
He's incredible.
Oh my god!
And you saw the pain in his eyes when he was screaming. When he was
Yeah.
getting his mouth muffled, you could still tell how much pain he was in. I mean, he emoted so fucking
Yeah.
well.
oh no, he had to scream. There was no way
It's a
else.
fucking bear trap.
No, but
It's
you
a
also, but he
fucking
screamed
bear.
with his eyes too. That's
He
the thing.
did.
Like you felt it viscerally.
But that's how painful. Like we all know how fucking painful that would be. But literally, you've been trained for years and years not to make a fucking sound, and literally, you can't help it. Like
yeah.
it's this going through your fucking leg.
So I don't even get why the mom was like saying like don't like no like fuck that. It was a bear trap.
Yeah,
I
you
just stepped in
can't
a fucking
train
bear
yourself
trap.
to go. This doesn't hurt like so fucking bad.
She didn't seem mad at him.
No,
she
but
was like,
please.
"What are you doing? Quiet right now." She was just like, "I know, baby. I know."
She's supposed to stand up, turn around to him, and say, "Quiet now, please."
wrap his hands.
That's
yeah,
right.
Yeah. Could you please?
Could you please
Yeah.
be quiet?
God damn it.
Sorry.
That leads me to something that has been something I've been playing over and over since watching the film that I feel is a little bit different than the first film, is that the first film is entirely about maintaining the family dynamic, protecting the family. It's very grouped. They're all together. They're trying to protect each other. When they are splintered away from one another, their entire focus is to get back together.
Mm-hmm.
And this movie, there are like missions that they all end up being on. So there's a disconnect, and it can be explained by the fact that, you know, Emily Blunt just lost her husband, and the kids just lost their father. And like one of them just finally kind of got to a place where she and her dad were good again 2 seconds before he gets his head lopped off by a fucking monster.
Or the fact that she discovers what her dad was working on after he's gone, so
Yeah.
she can't even give him a high five or a quiet high five. I don't know, but
yeah.
like literally, it's like, oh wow, this whole time I thought he was just being ignorant to like what I was going through. When I didn't see him, that's all he was working
That's
on.
another thing that would, I love high fives. I would high five out of
Yeah, you'd be
habit,
dead.
and then we'd both die.
Yeah.
Like, the worst high five ever.
The other trajectory that this movie goes in is the fact that their safe haven is now compromised. It's destroyed. You know, like
Yeah.
everything.
Flooded. Yeah. all that.
It's flooded. Like all the creatures come to it.
Barns are on fire. Like
You
all
know.
that shit.
All of it.
Cats and dogs living together.
Exactly. They have to venture out, and this is where the world building begins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because there was obviously, you know, we saw in the first movie, you know, they would light a fire on the top of the freaking silo, and there would be, you know, initially there were some other fires around.
It was just down to Murphy's.
In this one.
There were
Yeah.
a few, but then there was only one, and then, you know, so they had to get out. You know, they had to find something.
Which, if Cillian Murphy didn't want people showing up, he set out fucking bear traps. Why is he making other people know that he's around? Like, why is that?
Possibly
a thing
to
that
get
he's
their
doing?
shit.
That's because of what happens later in the movie. Because there's fucking
There's
the road.
fucking?
There's the road cannibals.
Yeah.
Or, you know, like crazy feral people.
But they were living in the like on the fucking sea.
No, but clearly he had run into people because he even said that like the people that are still out there
Exactly.
are
Aren't worth
ones
saving.
you aren't worth saving.
Yeah.
So, but then why is he making his presence clear to the world?
Well, okay, he makes his presence clear, but again, he can watch them. He sets the traps. He's up there with a fucking rifle ready to pop them in the goddamn head. Like he's not
Yeah.
just letting them in willy-nilly either.
So
Exactly.
maybe with a little bit more storyline, he's in like the greatest the game, or what is it, the
Most dangerous.
most dangerous game, where he's just like cannibal people. Like,
Come on in, come on in, guys.
yeah, look at the trash can fire. Yep, safety.
But
here.
even the cannibal people also play by that trick where it's like, all right, we've got a little girl. You know, nobody can resist helping a little girl, right? And then, yeah, fuck you. Now we've got you. I mean,
Right around
Now
the
you get
fucking neck. That
stabbed.
was crazy.
I love that they had to show that the little girl was evil by her being all like malformed. Like she didn't have to be all fucking gross.
yeah,
faced.
she's
No,
working with the
hold on,
evil
hold
people.
on. No,
She's
that-
evil.
we
They're-
burn her so you know she's evil.
No,
Yeah.
that makes sense. All of them, if you look, all of them had fucked up skin. They're living on the fucking water. They're in the sun, and they're in salt water. Salt water fucks up your
Yeah,
skin.
that's actually a really good point.
Salt water, like seriously, look it up. Salt water will fuck up your skin.
Oh no, I grew up in a beach community, and the women that tanned all the time and were always near the beach looked fucking
Now
haggard.
imagine that's all your option is, consistently in the sun and in the salt water.
It's just a bunch of tanned Tinas hanging out on the harbor.
But-
Well, it eventually starts to
It's a
erode
bunch of
your skin.
Clint Eastwood's like, hey, I want to get with that.
If you look, it almost
Right.
looked like at a certain point, almost like leprosy, but it was just from erosion from
Right.
the air and all, I mean that too, the salt
But
water, air, all that stuff.
They were the second smartest group in the movie because
true.
at least they knew to be near the
no,
water.
they
Yeah.
weren't that smart because there was an island like 25 feet away.
And
and they had boats.
Not 20.
They had boats. They could have easily like pushed the boat, and the push would have gotten them to the fucking island, as it happened with one of the fucking monsters. And they're like, "No, we're good here.
Yeah.
Never mind this island that's clearly away.
you're wondering
and we
if they
definitely know
knew-
the monsters can't swim because we've been doing this for long enough."
You're
But
wondering
yeah,
if they had
let's
actually
fuck off on the
seen
island.
one of them try to swim, or they were just kind of banking on it, you know, like that
No, that
fear of
came
getting
out,
into
though,
a
I
boat
thought.
and then one of them skip along the water, fuck them up, you
Well,
know,
the guy
then you're
says-
trapped.
The guy who's in everything on the island says to Cillian,
yeah.
like, you know,
Meet the bad guy
once we
from Galaxy Guardians of the
Guardians,
Galaxy,
yeah.
or the bad guy
What
from
is it,
Fast and Furious.
Digimon
the-
Husu
he was in,
or
was he
something?
in
Digimon
Dark
Husu,
Knight?
yeah.
That dude is in fucking
He's in
like as
everything.
soon as he popped, I was like, of course he's in this movie,
Yeah.
man. God
Well, he
damn
was.
it.
He says, like, you know, as they gathered all the ships, like, you know, once they saw them drown, like they saw that happen.
Oh, that
initially.
story was awesome
That
when he's
story was
talking
yeah,
about that.
that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was good.
A lot of good dialogue. Like for the dialogue that you have in this, it's again, it's all strong. At least I feel like it is.
No, the dialogue was strong, but that is my biggest plot hole: is that the harbor cannibals are looking at this island that has a fucking blinking light on the top of the fucking antenna, and they're like, "Nah,
Yeah.
Not
fine.
doing it.
Not doing
it.
Now, when he's talking about that scene about trying to get everybody on the boats and going, it reminded me of anybody that's read World War Z when they have the same kind of situation where everybody's trying to get, you know, off the mainland and just people are piling on boats, so boats are overturning
Yep.
and zombies are getting them. And it was that kind of same thing where, like, you go, oh, you just get on a boat and go to this island, but obviously everybody wants to do that.
Yep."
And that's when shit gets fucked up.
Or Snyder's Dawn of the Dead.
Oh, Dawn of the Dead, yeah.
Zack Snyder's Dawn of the
You
Dead.
mean where they
was-
get to the
They
island?
get to the island and it's just like already zombies.
Which some people are probably like, what is he talking about? Because they didn't go through all the credits.
Yeah.
Maybe you should watch the fucking credits. Just saying. Yeah.
So is there a
Newsflash.
name for these creatures yet? They've never been named.
Not
Yes,
that I know
they
of.
have been.
Oh,
They've been described as death angels.
Death
Wh-
Angels.
When?
That's
So they're an
What I-
extraterrestrial biker gang, is what you're saying.
I was going to say an 80s hair band, but yeah, I mean, like,
Well, I mean, there is a thrash metal band still rating music called Death Angel. So
Except their sensitivity is so hot that they would just be playing like Bell and Sebastian music.
that's why they don't like that
Just
pitch.
really
I just
quiet.
don't ever
nobody
remember any-
listens to Bell and Sebastian.
I just don't ever remember
except
anybody.
the fucking Death
referencing
Angels,
them
I think.
That's
as,
why that high pitch bothers them because it brings them back to the old days of their failed
That's the
career.
thing, you just put
Yeah.
on fucking King Diamond and you're good. Like,
Oh,
fucking,
God.
yes, good to go.
Oh, Jesus! It's fucking.
No, it wasn't explicitly said in the movie, but
Okay, I was gonna say I just don't remember
yeah,
ever
yeah.
hearing that.
Apparently, like in interviews and whatnot, they just kind of refer to them as the Death Angels. I think the reason being is that they were extraterrestrials that lost their home and they were traveling on meteorites and comets, and
As you do.
that's just kind of how randomly they ended up on Earth. And
They're angry about how loud it is. Fuck you! Get the fuck away!
no, yeah, who knows?
Well, that would explain the whole like not being able to be affected by fire thing. Because if your planet explodes and you're just riding the fucking like
comet,
debris,
yeah.
the debris from it,
Right
then-
in the
Right.
fire.
Imagine so for like 2,300 years, they're just hanging onto a rock, being like, one day
We're gonna
I'm
find that
I'm
asshole
gonna kill
planet."
Jim from The Office.
Yeah,
That's
right. What
like
the fuck, man?
So
plan.
yeah, there's a lot of plot holes. Okay, let's just say that there's a lot of plot holes. The fact that it was a comet and it landed somewhere in North America. However, the entire world seems to be a post-apocalypse at this point. So
Well, do we know that for sure?
We
No,
don't.
maybe it's like a 28 days later
we don't know
thing
that.
where it's just the states and everybody else is like, fuck, I'm glad that I don't like.
Yeah, that's what I was
cheeseburgers
gonna say.
enough to
Like,
move there.
California, like, man, you can't go
No,
that way.
We do know that because in the first movie, he is on the shortwave radio and he has marked off like
But it's all New York area.
30 countries. It's shortwave. So, and like he is reaching out to other countries like, oh, nope, Japan, nope.
See, I don't remember. I remember the map of New York with the X's and stuff like that.
No,
but-
there was that, but like he was very specifically, he was on the shortwave radio, which is where you can like talk to people anywhere on Earth because it's fucking.
But what's great
shortwave.
about this is that it literally says, yeah, it probably happened everywhere, but we're not going to show you everything. We're just concentrating on this small town, this one family.
Versus the other movies where in the intro it shows everything. You know,
like shit's fucked
being
up
taken
and
over, or in the end, like say for 12 Monkeys, where it shows the entire world being destroyed, or like taken over by the virus.
Exactly.
Like that,
yeah.
This one was just kind of like, no, it's basically a farmhouse. The first movie, and the second one you get, oh, it's just Main Street.
Main
It's
Street.
just Main Street.
Which again, I love the fact that he had this in the second one. So you experience a whole movie of shut the fuck up, and then
You start out with just
and
noise.
you start out with everybody going, "Yay, baseball game!" and making all the loud sounds. You're like, "Shut up, shut up!" And yeah, you know what's going to happen.
Well, that is cool. They bring in the baseball game because it starts off with him being really quiet, parking. Remember, it starts off with just a dead street. You're like, oh shit, so it's already happened? Why is he driving? It's noise. And then he gets out and it's really quiet. And then eventually you see that it's quiet because everyone's at the baseball game.
yeah,
And that's where the noise starts. You know, it was just really
but
cool. The
I
way
love
they
just
incorporated
waiting. You're just
these
waiting
little
and
things.
waiting for
Yeah.
shit to go down. So
Then you just see all the shit land. They still don't. So I never got the, or maybe I didn't read it, but I know in the movie they didn't mention anything about their planet being destroyed and they're riding
yeah, I was
meteors.
gonna say, where'd you get that?
Where was that from?
You don't remember the scene where there was one alien that could talk and he was like, long ago.
Yeah. Let me tell you about
Hey, but
how I got here.
He
Listen here,
had a
Jack
staff
Black.
and a beard.
No.
No, I watched special features. Sorry.
Nerd
Special
alert.
features.
No. It was,
It's not on DVD.
it was like interviews with John Krasinski, like talking about like the origin, etc.
Yeah, but that's something you need in the movie. Like, you don't, like,
I think Grutz is birthing
not
us.
even-
Yes
he did
and
research.
no.
God damn it!
This is not a place for research.
You're
sir.
birthing us. All right, you
what
did
I'm saying is,
research.
like,
You are
if you're
showing
not
us.
gonna put
No,
the movie, and it's not going to be available until the actual like physical copy release. Like, all right,
No, what I will say is that he did a good job world building in this movie. Now, I didn't expect all the answers.
I didn't either. No.
No, I didn't.
No.
So this is obviously going to have a third,
Oh yeah.
Third
That's why
one.
the
Oh, yeah,
fuck
yeah.
open, dude.
like I
Maybe.
mean, crazy, and there's going to be more like world building to go. But
I think they should combine the third new Jurassic Park movie with A Quiet Place as well.
no.
And that they're dealing with dinosaurs run amok, but also they're dealing with all these fucking sound
So
monsters.
every time
and
the
everybody with a
T-Rex just
radio
roars.
just like uses the frequency that's now being played on the stereo or on the
so we got a
station.
mashup. Which podcast are we on?
Oh.
I'd like to
All right.
see Banshee from the X-Men battling these creatures. Yeah, like I mean,
No, so basically every time the T-Rex roars, which is the signature for every Jurassic Park movie, it's just like the big epic.
but who would win in that?
I would love that just to see a T-Rex like whisper roar, just like
Yeah.
just really quiet.
No, what was the
wouldn't.
Transformers like multi-bot thing with all the dinosaurs that got together?
Oh,
well, there's the Dinobots.
the Dinobots.
Dinobots, yeah.
no, they're
but,
not a Mechazord.
They made one big one, right?
No.
No.
You're getting your Constructicons mixed up with your Dinobots.
Oh Jesus,
so-
I don't even remember now.
Yeah, you can't mix them up,
Transformers,
man.
Come on, man.
all of our Transformers listeners are really mad at you right now.
I'm feeling right now there's one specifically that just pulled out some of his hair as you're like, wait, so the Dino ones got together with the Constructicons and like
He doesn't have that much hair to pull out, and also Kron will smack me in the face.
Oh,
But that
Lord.
is a good
All right.
point for us to take a break to hear about some of the other shows on the network. When we come back, we'll be talking about our sponsors, what we're drinking, and a special version of making a drunken scene because, you know, a movie where most of it's quiet, We've got to
plenty of dialogue in this one, though.
come up with some other ideas for that.
Oh, God.
So, stick around. We'll be right back.
Coming straight from the mouths of madness, I'm Lowdown.
I'm FU Hunter.
Do you love horror?
We fucking do.
So this is a podcast dedicated to all things in cinematic horror. We're talking movies, television, composers, special effects artists. We're going to fucking cover it.
So if you love horror,
Embrace the madness.
My name is Amy Bogard,
And I'm Mike the Hobbit.
and we are the hosts of Deeply Upsetting, where we use our expertise to answer your most upsetting hypothetical quandaries, such as what non-winged animal deserves wings?
And what body part deserves a secret mouth?
Which cryptid is the worst roommate?
These questions and more that plague you will be answered on Deeply Upsetting, available anywhere you get your podcasts and at GUIPodcast.com.
Hey guys, Scotty Big Daddy Preston here, that's right, the Geek Father, asking you to join me here every other week with friends and family of the GUI Network as we go through all the trials and tribulations of being a geeky parent. So remember, join us or cry.
In a world ravaged by movie studios that keep rehashing the same things, only one podcaster has the guts to make it even worse. Join Mike the Hobbit as he traverses the internet to bring you some of the best and worst ideas for reboots, remakes, and reimaginings of some of your favorite and least favorite TV and film properties. Ideas like a John Waters He-Man movie, Fantastic Four the musical, and Aliens, done entirely with marionettes. What podcast would bring this evil upon the world? This is Smack My Pitch Up. Available anywhere you get your podcasts.
We're back for the second half of Geeks Under the Influence, all things A Quiet Place 2. And before we get into that, let's talk about our sponsors a little bit. First up, of course, is Amazon.com, the place you've come to know to bring you all the goodies to your front step. And the best way for you to indulge in your internet window shopping is to go through the link at GUIPodcast.com, click on the link saying Shop Amazon, and shop through that link. That way we get credit for anything that you purchase. So you're spending the same amount, we're getting credit for it, getting a few more bucks towards the GUI network so we can afford all the cool toys that we use to run the show. If you are unfamiliar with A Quiet Place, then pick up Quiet Place 1 on Amazon.com. Check out The Office. What else do you tie into Edge of Tomorrow?
Devil Wears Prada.
Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah, that's if you enjoy.
Is the spiritual prequel to
Yes.
A Quiet Place.
She left the fashion industry and married Jim.
And married Jim,
Yeah.
and then they moved to a small town
Yeah.
to raise their children.
Yep. Or Jack Ryan. You know what? Fucking Prime. Jack Ryan. Motherfucking
Ryan.
Jim. Yeah.
If you are not an Amazon Prime subscriber, I would thoroughly suggest, not just because you're getting free shipping, but also you're getting all the Prime movies available, and talk about all the schlock on Prime.
Oh, God.
There's so much garbage, like wonderful garbage.
Yeah, not
Oh,
bad.
so many schlock abuse.
Oh, there's
I've
bad.
issued
There's
to Grutz
terrible
here.
garbage
Yeah.
too.
Oh, yeah. No, it's a gold mine. But there is amazing original content.
True.
Really good. Really good original shows. Like The Man in the High Castle alone is
Oh,
Yeah.
God. So
worth
good.
my fucking subscription.
So good.
Utopia, a Wayne that they took from YouTube Red is great.
Electric Dreams.
Second
Electric
season.
Dreams.
We only got
I want
one season of that fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
I know.
But you know how
Really?
they're going to get more seasons of that is by people subscribing to Amazon Prime, which you can also do through the link at GUIPodcast.com, and we get the link. We get the credit. So do that. Help
So you
us
get
out.
more podcast episodes.
You get more podcast episodes. You get better sounding shit. You know, which
Help run us some coin. That's all I have to
in
say.
the Quiet Place we need to do more soundproofing in the studio for the Quiet Place. So help us not
I
die.
don't know why that bothers me so much.
It's because it bothers you. I'm going to keep saying it.
I don't
so.
understand why. The run us some coin thing.
I started
I don't-
Mouse Madness asking when we bring it up to say, yeah, help us run us some coin. And
I don't
he
even-
just shakes his head
I don't
every
really-
time.
Where did that come from?
Just randomly saw it on a YouTube thing and thought it was
Okay.
hilarious.
Yeah.
So
Because I was like, I don't know why that's like, run us some coin. The
Now,
fuck?
the other way to help out the shows on the network is through TeePublic. TeePublic.
Merch.
We got some merch coming your way. We've got some new designs available, especially in the month of June. We've got our Pride shirt that's been on for about a month or two now available. But additionally, there's new designs that are coming out all the time. I know Disasters has a new one coming out in the not too distant future.
Oh, yeah. We're going to have maybe 4 versions of it.
Yes, I've seen
It's going to be
the
great.
designs, and they look fucking tight.
Yeah.
Toy.
Yeah, they're awesome.
oh man,
Toy.
We've had a panelist, Lorna Digital, helped us design those. They're great.
Yeah, they're great. So there's always new stuff coming up, and if it's not a sale when you look at the site, wait like 4 days, and there will be a sale.
Yeah.
They have sales all the time, so definitely check out TeePublic through the link at GUIPodcast.com. And on to the real driving force of this show, the thing that really keeps us moving forward and making all the terrible choices of audio that we do through the episode. We're talking about what we're drinking.
Hey, we're fucking drinking. We're getting drunk. You want to know? Well, here you go. Hey,
We're drinking. We're getting drunk.
So punk. So punk.
The punkest thing ever.
We got a couple shares here. First up, Lowdown, you've got a tasty choice for us here.
Oh, yeah, I've got some East Coast local. Final Gravity Brewing Company's Maibach. It is 6.8%, I believe. Yeah, man.
That's tasty.
It's good Maibach. I like it.
Maibach, my local favorite up to this point, but I haven't seen it in a while, is the Legend Maibach, which I'm not normally a big fan of Legend, but their Maibach was really good. This is comparable.
I mean, my favorite was Blue Mountain, which
Blue Mountain's Maibach
Legends
was good.
Maibach didn't taste really that much different to me than their lager, so they never impressed me. I remember I saw it and I was like, I went and bought a 6-pack because I'm like, cool, it's a Maibach, and I'm like, this literally tastes like your fucking lager.
Oh, cool. Well,
Why even rebrand it?
I'm gonna be over here fucking myself.
Yeah, I mean,
I did appreciate how you were like, that one's really good. And she was like, that one's so
because
sad.
I'm being honest.
terrible.
If it's coming to beer, I don't hold
I mean, if
punches.
you like toilet water, it's
I
cool.
don't hold punches with booze, and like,
If you like having a terrible opinion, then yeah, I guess it's good.
yeah, I mean, about actually thinking it tastes different than a lager, then I guess that's okay. Anyway,
But the Final Gravity, now see, my opinion doesn't matter anymore. So the Final Gravity beer sucks. It's terrible. I hate it. It's definitely not very tasty.
as
Good
he
malt.
drinks it,
Good malt to it.
as he drinks it.
Big fan.
No. I mean, it was a little harsh on Legend, but it just didn't. That Legends didn't do it for me. But Blue Mountains, which they didn't when they stopped bottling, you have to go to the fucking brewery in the spring to get it. That's my shit as far as for East Coast local fucking Maibachs. Final Gravities is comparable. It's good. Now it doesn't taste. Now it definitely is a Maibach based around their Vienna lager, because I was getting a lot of their Vienna lager.
Yeah.
I think I brought one for a share. Or we might not have been doing it in persons, but their Vienna lager is fucking solid. I know I did bring it because I raved about it. No, I just raved about it. My bad.
No worries.
It happened.
But
That's the joy of being in person again.
I can't remember
being able to
I remember raving
indulge.
about it, and they basically took that formula and kind of sweetened it up a bit, added a little honey to it, and
Sweet.
Nice.
Now, I would say as far as thematic goes, the way Lowdown made it thematic is he showed up with a plastic grocery bag full of single cans, which is the most quiet place thing that you can do. It's just whatever you dug up to bring over.
no,
So-
I bought them all separately at the store though.
Yeah, but you still thematically brought it in a
Oh, that's
plastic
true.
bag,
Yeah,
like you had just run into a grocery store real quick.
grab what I
grabbed what you could.
No
Yeah.
chips.
Yeah.
Fortunately,
Grab what I
no spaceships, no battery operated
No
spaceships.
battery
Yep.
spaceships, no.
Yeah. Now, Grutz, you are doing the proper quiet place treatment to us here. Is that if you are sitting in the silence and
That's right.
need to get drunk quick, then this is the way to do.
Well, yes. Also, it is thematic as well, because I looked for a particular bourbon that was going to be more corn-based than others, because, of course, they grew corn
Yeah.
on their farm in the first movie, because I'm a nerd,
Yeah,
and that's amazing. So this
but
is
that was actually a major plot point as well.
It
is
was.
the silo in the
Yeah.
first movie.
Yeah.
the silo and
Yeah.
and like all the chases through the cornfields and stuff like that. Like,
Which I'm a sucker for a cornfield chase.
oh yeah, absolutely.
As long as you're running backwards naked, right?
I mean, personally, yes.
I'm actually going to pull a Grutz moment out here. Apparently, a year before they were going to start filming A Quiet Place, they actually built up that cornfield and like set everything up and threw money in to build this farm that's in New York. So like they were planning all that out ahead of time.
So you just let
Wow.
it grow
Yeah.
longer.
Yeah, they didn't like find a location. They were like, all right, this looks good. We can use
Hey, do you
this.
mind if we fuck up your corn?
Yeah. Or they're like, can we plant corn? Pretty much.
Corn's resilient.
True.
Apparently.
It is.
But
Yeah.
what are we sipping on here?
So this is Michter's small batch Kentucky straight bourbon.
Once I saw the
And-
label, I realized I have actually had this.
They have a bunch of different bottles.
Maybe not this one, but I recognize the
but
label.
They're pretty solid all the way through. I've had the rye before. It's damn good. This is 91.4% proof.
Okay.
So it's a decent test. Like
It's that 1.4% that really fucks you up.
Well, it's
totally not
it's
the
like,
other.
I think
not
bourbon.
the other 90.
It's pretty damn good. But
So
you can definitely taste the corn in it.
It's
like,
the sweetness. So I thought I was
exactly.
wrong. Like the higher I like completely brain farted. A higher rye proof or higher rye on the bill will get you the spicy. The higher corn will give you the sweetness. And because I tasted like it wasn't a lot of bite, but it was definitely a lot of sweetness on the end of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Good-
this
good
is
call,
their
man.
small batch, so it's pretty solid. I'm not mad about it.
No, that's
I like it.
a tasty beverage.
Indeed.
It's fucking Cristal.
It's fucking Cristal, yeah. Now, for the next part, we are gonna dig in a little bit into the nature of the film. By normally, we do making a drunken scene.
Oh boy, what kind of shenanigans you got?
Making a drunken scene.
Now, partly because there isn't a lot of dialogue from Quiet Place 1 or 2. Like, I looked on IMDb for quotes from Quiet Place 2, and literally the only one is run.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, is that when she drops the bottles and it's like, run?
Yep.
Now there's legitimately 3 times more dialogue in the sequel than the
Seriously?
original.
Yeah, it's just so new that
Anyway.
yeah,
They
it's
just
not
have
available yet. So, in the spirit of A Quiet Place being about being as quiet as possible, I thought I would fuck us all up by, while we're doing the second half, I've got a mini Jenga here that I'm going to put in the middle of the table.
Oh, fuck.
And so, while we're just continuing on the second half, we're going to take turns picking out our mini Jenga pieces, which will last maybe not even all 4 of us before it gets tipped over.
To see who would get us all murdered.
Who would get us all murdered?
Yeah.
So this is the way we're going to find out who's going to be the one that gets GUI people murdered in The Quiet Place. And I did not realize this
You
was.
didn't even prep it or anything.
All right, we're getting the Jenga straightened out a little bit. Right now, it looks like a West Virginia shack. So we're trying to get it cleaned up a little bit.
Aw.
This is going to end so poorly.
Oh,
Like, there's
totally.
no way this is going to end well.
It is what it is, though.
So we've got like a mini Jenga.
Hey, this is your idea. Roll with it.
Okay, so I'm
Here
going
we
to
go.
take the first piece here. Yay!
Oh man, the intense moment.
One piece down. So as we go, we can keep talking as this this continues on. So as we're going, you're going to hear a loud crash at some point. The other choice is that I have a new bag of tortilla chips, and I was going to see who could crunch the quietest. But mastication on a show is not exactly everyone's favorite.
GUI
so
is now ASMR. It's fine.
ASMR.
That's right.
It's just us chewing on tortilla chips in the
It's
microphone.
fine.
So
Someone's into
Nice.
it.
there's one listener that's like, oh, thank God I would have just like canceled my subscription if you guys ate chips into the microphone. But
Oh Jesus.
All right. Oh, fuck me.
so I did want to dig in a little bit into the island that they go to. That
Yes.
the
Utopia?
well, yeah. I mean, in this world, this is the utopia that when they show up, they're like beaten and fucking ruined, and they're pouring coffee and having like
bonfire.
Their bonfire. I just expected like fucking like John Mayer or Jason Mraz to be playing like a fucking acoustic
Things are
guitar.
great. Things are wonderful on the
Those are your
island.
favorite
Just,
artists.
sullied the scene. Jason Mraz like, I'm just waiting for my rocket to come. Yeah. Like, no. Kumbaya.
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 Oh no, Kumbaya
Hold
would have
on.
been too much.
But no, the greatest scene was
You can't do the top.
why not?
That's a rule in Jenga. You can't take.
I never played Jenga.
Fucking okay. You can take everything except
I've
the
literally
top.
never played Jenga.
You've
Because if
never
you-
played Jenga?
If you take the top one
No.
off, then that's what everyone's doing, and you're just unstacking.
It's a boring
the
game of
fucking-
watching. Yeah.
I've
Who
never
can-
played Jenga.
You got to take a piece gently from anywhere else on
Besides the top.
there. Besides
I'm
the
probably
top.
going to kill us because I literally never played Jenga.
Oh, I'm so excited for
Oh,
Lowdown
man.
to fail at this.
You've been waiting
Fail
years.
something I never played.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
That's sad.
yeah.
That's very
I've
sad.
been waiting years for this. Please
be
fail.
gentle.
Please fail.
I don't know how to.
Oh, there he
Oh.
goes. Telly knows how to please a woman with that sensitivity of finger use right
Oh,
there.
He does.
Actually,
Yes.
depends on how the woman likes it.
I thought you were going to get into a descriptive story.
No,
Yeah,
no.
actually, it reminds me of the time.
a story where
No, but
I was figure
the
baiting.
greatest
this chick,
scene was when Cillian Murphy and the girl are like walking around the house, and then all of a sudden they see like this is fire, and the look on their faces, like it's like it's a movie that you shouldn't want to laugh at, but that scene was hilarious.
Oh, that was funny.
That look on their faces was like, what the fuck?
if it's like an alien movie and like Aliens where they're going through and they run into fucking, oh, Hunter got it.
Yeah.
They're going through and they find the little girl and she's all like, yeah, the aliens are around. And then they find some other room and they're playing fucking Parcheesi. And be like, oh, hey, we've got some wine.
Yeah.
If you guys want. Like, it would be so out of place that they'd be like, are you fucking kidding me right now?
It kind of reminded me of just the hillside with The Walking Dead, where like they're just like, you know,
Yeah.
"Oh, we're keeping everything, you know, very upkept and stuff like that. And you're like, you know, motherfuckers are like, there's zombies and all kinds of shit, and like the hillside in The Walking Dead, where it's like, you know, the nice big mansions that are gated off, and like so they have their own routine without really acknowledging.
This reminds me so much of like either third or fourth season of Lost when the others, they finally like come across the others, like their little plantation,
Their spot, yeah.
Yeah.
where they had like
Lost spoilers, by
nice
the way.
little warning.
No, I don't care. I'm just saying I just didn't watch Lost.
No, there were little condos. It was a little plantation.
Yeah, it was like nice. Like maybe all these people were
sweet,
sleeping on the
like-
fucking beach. Like all the people on the other side of the plane wreck are sleeping on the beach, and these motherfuckers have condos. They're like, yeah, my AC's acting up, and it's like, fuck you.
All right, Grutz got one. Fuck,
Oh,
man. I
man.
was hoping it wouldn't come back to me.
Reach
for
it. Stumpy arms. Look at your T-Rex.
Fucking T-Rex arms, man.
Yeah.
Good luck.
There we go.
I'm
Got
gonna
it.
nurse it.
Got it.
Ugh, you're such a bitch.
No, but I agree that it was definitely where when Cillian Murphy and the girl come in and they've been seeing fucking the worst of the worst, like on the mainland. They've been having to be careful and quiet the whole time. And they're like, ha, 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 ha. Anyway, that was a good joke. Who else has a good joke? And they're just loud and not giving a fuck at all and just hanging out.
Well, you can tell with the what's his name when they get to the radio station, and literally he turns his back and he's like, oh, blah blah, just talking like everything's fine. You're like, that's a dead motherfucker, and he was a dead motherfucker.
Yes.
He basically says he's like, wait a minute. Maybe they're okay. Maybe I'll just go back because maybe we outran it because we were faster than it. And then no, dude, that's not how that works.
Meanwhile, the two experienced ones aren't saying a fucking word because they're like, hey asshole, these things are gonna kill you really fast if you're gonna keep talking like that.
Yeah, like, oh yeah, we outran them. No, you did not. Oh, Lowdown got one.
Oh yeah,
I did.
Fuck
over to
you.
Hunter.
What's up, bitch? About softness.
that was a treacherous one too.
You like that one?
That was good.
Yeah.
Lowdown sparkle fingers brown.
That's
MacGyver.
right.
Yeah.
These have pleased the many.
All right,
Actually, it's this-
so we've definitely addressed some of the island folk that were safe only by the fact that the goddamn death angels couldn't fucking swim through the water. However, we have to address the fucking crazy, insane, like feral people that were by the docks.
Yeah, definitely. I talked
that
about
were
how
that were reminiscent, like in a sense, of almost like the cannibals in The Road, but
it is weird that a bunch of people that have an aversion to sailing hang out at the dock. That did bother me. That's the biggest hole for me, honestly.
I love how they like, we're not gonna kill you, we're just gonna set you up to be killed. Like you know what I mean? Like they're
No, he went. Yeah, Grutz, it's your turn.
oh, you got it.
Yeah, we're
All
still
right.
playing Jenga, by the way, for all the
we're playing
listeners.
Jenga.
Yeah.
But I love how like they use the little
This is a lot
girl.
of fun.
They use the little girl. They get him there, and then they're like, okay, well, yeah, if you move, you're gonna make a sound, and then you're fucking dead as shit. So,
And I do like that there was even a point when Cillian Murphy and the girl were like there that they're trying to steal the girl, like steal her away, and nobody is willing to be loud.
yeah,
Like the people being assaulted, the people that are doing the assaulting, everybody's like, it's a known quantity of like, no, like we're not being loud.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah,
not
yeah.
going to do
quietly assault her. You know,
that. Yeah, quietly assault.
Quietly
Yes.
assault her.
Quietly assault her. No,
Fuck, man.
I would say that. Oh yeah, it is you. They're on the water and they're not sailing, but I think they might have heard the rumor passed down that they can't swim.
Okay.
So they probably felt that. Really?
I got it.
Oh, fuck you in the face. God damn it.
Yeah, that was a tough pull right
Yeah,
there.
They, like I said, they heard it from passed down that like they can't swim. So they're like, oh, this is a good place to be. We're at least on the water. But they might never have tuned to a frequency that picked up the station. So
I'm sure they hadn't.
This island, the joke we had in the first half, this island is like way the fuck out there. It's not like they could look and there's an island.
You could if you're a good swimmer, then you're going to the island. Yeah,
no, it's.
I mean,
way
it's
the
not
fuck out there.
swimmable, but like you can see the island.
Did you see it from the docks when they were on the docks?
But
They
here's the
saw
thing.
it before they got to the docks. They're like, "There's the island." Remember, he pointed out the island. He was like, "Oh, yep, there it is."
I remember him
But most
pointing
of
out
those
the
boats are
I remember him pointing
motorboats.
out the island.
So you have to hope that you're able to crank that bitch on and fucking get away from the dock fast enough before one of those things catches you. I feel like that's also the deterrent.
Oh,
So we got the island.
Yep.
We got the feral people, before the island. So we got to talk about the the insane sequence where the son has to protect
the baby. He locks himself in the fucking
and they get
oxygen.
locked in the.
Oh, I thought we were about to see a dead baby. I'll be
dude.
honest.
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
had
It's
to,
just like train spotting flashbacks.
I was like, how
Dead
hardcore
baby.
is Jim going to get with this fucking movie?
That was
right?
the one moment that of the entire movie that Amy turns to me and says, "If they kill the baby, we riot."
Well, because you see him take the mask and he looks like, well, sorry, you're not able to
He
hold
needs
your
to
own
not
mask.
die too.
Which, by the way,
He needs to
how
not-
do you like own up to your mom after that? I was like, "Sorry, the baby's dead. I wanted to breathe."
Well, no. So you saw him take a couple gasps. Like he needed to breathe too, though.
Yeah.
That was the thing, right?
Yeah.
He put it back.
Yeah,
He needed
sure.
oxygen. Like it was just.
But it all fit in. Again, one of my watch alerts was, that part when literally it's like, okay, so they're trapped in here. Oh, and the oxygen tank is, fucking about to go.
Mm-hmm.
But also, I want to say, I can't speak enough about Noah Jupe, is that in that situation, again, not speaking, the amount of conversation he was having with his eyes about his confliction about when he was to give the baby more oxygen versus him having oxygen, he translated that all with his eyes.
True.
And in his movements, he was
And it
able
was
to
painful.
fully it's super
so painful,
pained.
dude. It was super painful.
I felt like I even felt a moment of him second guessing, like maybe the baby is meant to go.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, the baby is not meant to go.
No, it's the same as- I mean-
the baby is hope. you don't kill the baby.
I
Grutz,
did-
you're the one that's supposed to like not get it back to me. You're supposed to fail this.
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Back to
should
me.
we just update real quick? We've all gone now 3 times.
And we have not
which is
drunkenly
3
knocked
more.
this over.
Yeah, somehow drinking
I
and doing
gave
this.
one of my boards over there.
We are
but
expert
it's all good.
drinkers and Django players.
Django.
Django. Yeah, the movie.
Django Unchained.
Yeah,
The fuck?
this is Unchained.
Part 2.
Oh, some sausages. Oh.
I got
Holy
it.
shit.
I got it. Woo.
Dude, we are crushing this shit.
We are
This is
crushing this.
ridiculous.
This has gone
This is
way farther
No,
than
no,
I thought.
I figured maybe 2 rounds tops, and we are doing this.
We're starting round 4.
All right, so let's also briefly talk about the fact that our main girl, final girl, deaf girl, Reagan, right? Is her name?
God damn it, I don't even know her name.
I don't know anybody's names in
Yeah.
this movie.
Yeah, you don't need to. But anyway, like she's the main, like she's the oldest daughter. She was, daddy's girl sort of situation. Anyway, she takes it upon herself and like rolls out to go deliver this frequency.
Well, the brother was against it. Like, there was so much there to be said about her being like her dad before they even announced it in the movie, right? She was going to do what she could to help everybody.
Right.
Right?
So she took it upon herself to become the hero.
Potentially being a martyr.
Potentially.
Yeah. There was a badass sequence on that train.
Then in the meantime, Noah fucking Jupe, his mom leaves. He's left with the baby, been like, I don't know how to take care of baby. She's like, I don't know, just like rock him a lot. He's like, okay, cool. And then she leaves, and he's like, cool, I'm going to go exploring in the night.
But she was also going to get him pain meds because she realized that, like, oh,
Yeah, you're gonna fucking die for that
You're about
infection.
to be in some
No,
serious
I get that,
shit.
but he's like, he's on pain meds and decides I'm going to go exploring where the monsters are. And just if he didn't go out exploring, she would have rolled back and shit would have been fine.
Yeah.
Hold on. He didn't go exploring where the monsters are. He was exploring his world, and he came across a fucking dead corpse
wife.
that
Yeah.
Cillian had been holding on to.
How
I
is he
don't
not-
know what he was doing with it, but
How
he
is
was
he-
holding on to it.
They've been to the store how many times? He's run into a dead corpse before. Why is he that freaked out about it?
I don't
God
think he
damn
was
it.
expecting it.
How is this back to
But
me?
it happened to her too when she went to go get the meds in
Yeah.
that train. Which, yeah. By the way, I always had cats as my list of the fuck you animal when it came to
the
suspenseful
birds?
movies.
Birds?
Yeah, I'm gonna add birds because
Birds.
the birds fucking made me jump in that goddamn movie.
That was one of the jumps. It was the
Yeah.
fucking birds. It's fucking birds.
I think I literally
Holy
yelled. I think I yelled out
shitballs.
loud, "Fuck you, birds!" because of that.
Oh, this is terrible.
Do
This
you
is
low
not
down?
fun.
Amazing.
This is not fun anymore.
But that is also like there was no justification for him going out and exploring. Like if there was a reason why he had to know something, but it was literally him just being like, well, mom's not around. I guess I'm going to go fucking look at drawings of the dude's dead kids.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm going to go do.
Right.
There
yeah.
was nothing about it that made sense.
On a gimpy fucking leg. Can we like he's literally climbing the ladder and doing this shit? Like, dude, just wait, dude.
Just fucking chill. She said
Yeah.
she'd be back in like 2 hours. She's not like, I'll be back in 3 days. Like, she's going to be back in a minute. Just fucking chill out.
Because, like, isn't she getting meds for him? So maybe she doesn't
Yeah.
want him walking the fuck around
Yeah.
on that shit.
I think this might be the
Thank
last
you, Grutz.
round.
I got getting moral support from Grutz over here. Holy shit, that was rough.
I don't see.
You got a
It's-
thumbs
it's
up.
Getting,
Yeah,
it's getting
it's getting
dire.
intense.
No, it's getting real right
It's
now.
getting
These
very
blocks
dire.
are so tiny. They're so small.
Yeah, I actually before anybody, I got to take a picture of this so people understand like
Sausage
the
fingers of these
size.
fucking
No,
shit we're
put your
dealing
fingers
with.
near it. I want to get
Fuck.
for size how tiny the fucking Jenga set is. That where, yeah, okay. So Jenga is a game that is definitely reducing its sales during The Quiet Place. Like it's not
You can't
doing
do
too
blocks.
well.
Or
Blocks
Operation.
Operation
Yeah.
also.
Right, so
I did
you-
send out a message to everybody asking if anybody had Operation. Because
Yeah.
that's also a game
That's-
you
yeah.
can't
We're
really
on the
play.
fifth round. Fuck me.
Yeah.
Grutz, it's up to you, buddy.
Oh, it's my
No, yeah, I
You got it?
Yeah, I just got it, man.
Jesus
That's why I was
Christ.
giving you the Jenga, the middle
Oh,
finger.
fuck me.
Yeah, going into the tail end of this episode and probably this Jenga, what do we think they're going to be doing with the magical earpiece that makes all the aliens freak out moving forward?
I think moving forward, well, here's one of, but it could be a couple possibilities. I'll let everyone else chime in on what could be the other ones. But the big one is that we come to a time where they have gone through and they have killed a lot of them, but now we have the remaining few that end up stirring up the problem that they have become immune to it. Because there's a certain time even in the first one where they became immune to the ambient noise in the air, wind, birds, animals running, they like there's things that they still showed in the outside world were sound that was happening and the creatures didn't react to it. So the creatures adapted to a certain level of sound. So I think that, and they even showed it in part 2 when oh, fuck you in the face. Hobbit
I
did
thought
it.
you were about to have it, man.
I flew too close to the sun.
Oh, fucking Bilbo
you got
killed
cocky,
us.
man. That was like the second to
the
last
second to the
level.
bottom
Oh,
level.
fucking Bilbo killed us. That's it. There you
Yeah,
go.
and we're
Fucking
dead.
Hobbits is.
All
And if we
right.
weren't
There we
dead by
go.
the sound of crashing, us reacting would have definitely murdered us.
But no, I think that
God damn it.
I think that
You know it's
eventually
gonna be you.
Yeah.
the creatures get used to that frequency, and
That's what I was gonna
it's
say.
not killing them. It's just making them. It's putting them in pain.
Which is just adapting to it.
Though they'll eventually adapt to it, and then that's going to be 3.
I mean, I always look at it as that we still have a small town. It's based in a small town, so we don't know what's happening with the major cities. They might have figured this out. The military's going through with sonic weapons to kill them, and they just haven't gotten to fucking boonies and shit.
Yeah.
So
I think you're exactly right. If there's going to be a number 3, it's going to ramp up the world building even more.
Oh yeah, totally.
And it's going to be, yeah, exactly. Like, how do we fight back?
Sonic cannons of that
Sort of
noise
situation.
and stuff. And
Now, I do want to make this statement before we end the episode. This movie felt to me like Aliens versus Alien. Okay. Because
That's fair.
the original movie was so wonderfully contained. It was a small situation. I mean, it basically could have been a stage play, like
totally.
It was
Totally, yeah.
it was a small amount of characters, and it was contained. It was perfect. It was a perfect movie, and I loved it dearly.
So what you're saying is the deaf girl's going to become like part of a penal colony of rapists, and then
Shave her head.
and she also becomes like pregnant with one of the aliens.
God damn it.
And
no, she's just a badass.
okay, and then
they clone her, and
they clone her, and then there's one of those things.
No,
one
but
of them running
we instantly
around.
go to the shitty movies in that series. All
Then
right.
David Fincher
This
quits.
was the movie. This was a movie that expanded the world, which it needed to. Obviously, as a sequel, it needed to, but also it was there were more action set pieces. It was bigger. It had to be, but like it felt in the same way. Like the first movie was a straight up horror movie. Okay, it was terrifying. You didn't know what was going on. There were these crazy ass fucking things. There was not a lot of explanation, any of that. This one had a lot more. There's more exposition. There's more explanation. Like it opened with a fucking like prequel to how the shit started, but also, I don't want to say it wanted to like up the game or like trump the first movie, but like it definitely was there in a certain sense.
Yeah.
Well, we followed the family in the first one, and we saw how they adapted the lights, changing color to warning the other family members, and so we get
It's good
introduced
they
to the
found
family.
those lights that could be white
Seriously,
lights
yeah.
and red lights.
There you go. But yeah, so we get introduced to their world. So this one, like you were saying, it's more open world. They have to go explore. Like what they had hoped to just sit tight and fucking make it through it, it's flooded to shit. Now they have no choice. They have to go out in the world. So I did appreciate, and they get to a point you're like, okay, so they'll just stay in this, this place now with, and they're like, nope, we're going to push it farther and farther. So you get stuff like the island and shit like that.
Yeah.
I feel like John Krasinski's character was secretly a prepper because he probably had just like 300 red light bulbs in his fucking basement.
We could have found them.
Like he was ready.
Nobody finds 300 red light bulbs.
No, he
that
didn't
actually
find them. He had them. He bought them. He bought them like he was going to use them in some future day.
Actually,
and he had
little known fact about John Krasinski's character in the first one is he was really into the tiki culture, and he liked to have the neighbors over to have big tiki parties, and that's what the red lights were for, to create ambiance.
That mood, yeah.
that mood, yeah.
But it wasn't the bad
So
tiki
the prequel to
culture.
Quiet Place is just fuck party or something.
Yeah,
Like,
it's just a
a tiki party fuck party.
Tiki party. It's,
It was
before the kids are
not-
born. It's a full on like fishbowl keys fuck party, and that's the thing is that the daughter is actually Cillian Murphy's kid. As he find out in the third one.
Oh, dirty.
She does have his eyes.
That's better. That's better than it being like a quasi like white supremacist tiki party thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
nobody,
sure.
Nobody
that,
wants
that
that.
would be bad. We don't want to go to that.
What the fuck?
Well, you've never been to a white supremacist tiki party?
No, you three are the white motherfuckers.
Wait.
Oh, that's why we didn't invite you.
Yeah.
No.
What are you talking about,
Wait.
guy?
I don't know.
I mean, you've never been to Charlottesville?
Watch me dance.
They love tikis out
I
there.
didn't know there was like.
No, Tiki's
Well, I'm
is
sure.
and there are plenty of people, and actually a restaurant in town that a couple that actually do the Tiki thing that are fine, that are totally fine.
Tikis don't make you.
Tikis don't make you racist whatsoever. I want to be
This is a
clear
GUI
on that.
GUI statement.
GUI statement. But there is some Tiki stuff that has been engaged with white
Yeah,
supremacists.
that was a while ago though. That was like.
Yes,
2.5 years
yeah.
ago?
Like
yeah,
the-
tiki
but the
tortures
the
have
tiki
not been
industry is
co-opted.
still the tiki industry is still trying to get back to the level of not be dissociated.
They
with
have
it.
not
Like,
been
no,
co-opted by the white supremacists.
Anybody can get a Tiki torch, not just the whites. I think is actually the tagline now.
Yeah.
Is
This giant extra piece of labeling that you don't need, but it just to say
Just
that.
to help out.
Just to help.
that's their I need that T-shirt. It's like Tiki torches, not just for whites anymore.
Did you make that like a smiley face?
A smiley face, yes.
It's not just
Not just for
that
white
makes
people,
it
it's a
safer.
smile.
Okay.
All these companies just need
marketing.
to like co-opt the dead Kennedys, like anti-Nazi, like with the bar through it, like
Put that next to like don't
logo.
plug in the tiki torch, and like all the little warning labels on the tag, and then also not for Nazis with
Yeah.
like the X over the
No,
swastika.
no white supremacists. Yeah.
No white supremacists. Yeah.
no white supremacists.
All right, what else we got to talk about?
Well, we already went off the rails enough to go from talking about Quiet Place to white supremacists.
I think
so.
we're about done with our episode.
We're borderline already all night.
I did want to talk about how the aliens didn't seem to be fighting all the cicadas in the woods that we heard all the time during the during both movies.
Which you think would
but-
confuse the fuck out of them, but yeah.
there's like fucking bugs, and there's like lizards walking through the fucking like leaves and shit, and they're just like, no, that's cool. We're waiting for footprint sounds, and like, how do you even know what that is? Like,
or
you're
screaming,
an alien,
or
yeah.
car crashes, or
No, the action sequences were fucking amazing.
They were great.
Yeah.
I will say though, in my total review, I really loved the first movie because it was so contained. It was so contained. It was a perfect fucking suspense horror movie. I loved it so much. I really enjoyed the second one. However, I do also understand that they're like, it was world building.
Yep.
They're going into a third movie. Most definitely. I like the first one the same way that I liked Alien more than Aliens.
Sure.
Or the same way that I like John Wick 1 versus John Wick 2. Okay?
Yeah.
That's my personal position. So there it is.
Which is funny because I've only seen it once, but I almost feel like I enjoyed the second one more than the first one, and which I also enjoy Aliens just a little bit more than Alien. So
Hunter and I are kind of on par here, but I am on par with Grutz as far as I enjoy John Wick over more than 2 or 3. Like, and I don't care about when 4 comes out. Like, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like 1. Still better than that.
Oh, no. I love 2 and 3. They're great.
But I mean, comparing
But 1
in that universe, yeah.
1 was so solid.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I do like Aliens more than Alien.
Yeah.
but I was just saying, having that opening sequence where we see it happen was great, and just again them exploring a little more than just the farmhouse. I'm sorry, I like that.
Yeah.
I have to go with Grutz on this one, is that I like the first one better than the second. So we've got an even split here.
Wow,
Mm-hmm.
we
But
gotta
that
sell this
actually
on nights.
That honestly speaks to the sequel, is that there are differences of opinion on which one is better. That means it's at least close.
Yeah,
That it's hard for me to compare the two. I think what I loved about the first one so much is that it was all about developing the characters and that nucleus of family, and so you rooted for them a lot, like throughout all of it. And there was such a rush to introduce new characters and new environments that I felt that it kind of missed that level of care about the characters. Even the characters that we loved from the first one, their dynamics were different. So you didn't have that same level of genuine hopefulness for those characters. They were just characters instead of a family that you're like, if you kill them, I will murder the world, which is what I felt in the first one.
And I guess you're kind of catch-22ing yourself on that, because the reason they are different is because of things that happened in the first
Sure,
one.
and no, and I get that, and that's why,
they are different people because, like,
It's not that
especially
I'm-
the kids, they had to watch
it's not
their
that I'm
father sacrifice
poo-pooing
himself.
the second one at all. It's more that
I didn't take it that way.
yeah, it's more that
I meant that the story in the first one led up to directly the characters being different in the second one, because, like I said, what kid would not come out different watching their father, like, shh, and then
I
get
guess
eaten by a fucking
the
alien.
first
Like,
movie, as much as it definitely was a horror movie, was more of a
was more-
character drama
there
that
was more
happened to
heart,
be a
too.
horror movie.
was more
Whereas
hard
the
in
second movie was a horror movie that had characters in it. I
Now,
guess
would you have wanted
is-
the same thing out of the sequel?
What do you mean?
Would you,
as far as
would you have wanted the same movie?
not the same movie, not at all. But if
So
if
how could
were-
you? I'm just like, I understand what you're saying. So I'm just asking, like, how would you have moved them out of the farmhouse and kept it the same way?
I would start with the first third of the movie being entirely different characters. You start with
Okay.
where you start that back.
So you start the island, maybe?
No, you start actually from Cillian Murphy's.
You tell his story.
You tell his story.
Okay.
And so then you see from his perspective,
Hey,
Krasinski's family at the baseball game and everything that's happening.
that's
Actually,
good.
that's
really
fucking
good.
awesome.
God,
That's
he's
really
gonna get a
fucking good.
big head over this.
Then-
We should
No,
not be
no,
giving him
no,
this
no.
much
Then you
price.
get
Let him talk.
you get to really fully understand that
His pain.
that his kids immediately died. And then he slowly watched his wife die, and they had to move away from what their safety was of their home
Because she was too loud.
to this
Yeah.
like leaky fucking foundry that they moved into, and just for her to die. And then he's stuck there because he's so broken that he can't even comprehend moving anywhere else. He knows
And from what
it's
he's
safe.
seen, it's not
And
just
from
that
what
he's
he's seen,
broken
yeah.
with his wife. He's seen so much shit of humanity.
Yeah.
that he doesn't think there's anything else out there
And
than
then
to be alone.
And then you get 20-30 minutes of that, and you're like, what the fuck? And then that's when you hear the bottles drop.
And that would
and then
still
you
work
see-
with the intro because you can still show them landing.
Yep.
But because he introduced
Yeah.
Cillian, it follows after that
Yeah.
into his. Dude, that's actually fucking solid as fuck. No, I'm like, because I'm wondering what could
No,
you do to make the
that's
sequel
great.
as intimate as the original? Because I get what Hobbit's saying about the original being so intimate.
You've already introduced the other characters.
You just
already
wrote
know
a
their-
better movie than John Krasinski.
Oh fuck!
You're the
God
Dwight.
damn it.
You're the
Yay.
Dwight of GUI.
Yay.
Yeah.
And then after that intro, then it goes into the rest of the movie.
Yep, and then
it
the rest of the
ensues
movie
like
you do
normal.
fine. But then you're
Holy
more
shit.
invested in Cillian Murphy's character. You understand his projections. You already understand all the things that Emily Blunt's
He's
family
the
has
biggest
gone
new
through.
character.
Yeah.
He's the biggest character that
absolutely.
matters outside of the family.
Right. That's a very small side. Reagan, the deaf girl, like she's basically the protagonist of this movie. But what I really want to say is that the notion of emotion that the original movie conveyed to me, like I legit like get emotional and got teary-eyed throughout Quiet Place 1.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
There were
That scene
definitely
with Krasinski was so.
Oh my god,
fucking-
absolutely. There are definitely times in this movie that I am terrified, and I was white knuckling it, sort
You
of
never
situation.
got the tears. You never got the tears.
I didn't
know
get the
that.
tears.
Yeah.
And that's why
That scene
Quiet Place
with
1
Cillian Murphy could have
is-
completely fixed that though.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Could have fixed that.
Quiet Place 1 is going to be my favorite.
I got you.
They were much nicer to Emily Blunt's character in the second one, because in the first one, I mean, fuck, man, that nail scene.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It was rough, dude.
Where literally
so rough.
everybody not making a sound all goes ah, and then that fucking hurt. Well, how about you give birth but don't make
In
a
a
fucking
bathtub,
sound? Yeah.
and not make noise.
Oh
How
my
the fuck does
God.
that happen?
I did find
dude?
it interesting though that literally almost seemed like she had to do the same speech to Cillian Murphy that she did to her husband to go find my daughter.
Yeah.
And beg, like, not as much begging her husband in the first one.
No, the husband's
but
like,
almost
no,
the
yeah,
same-
fair.
But the same one, like, go get him, go find her.
Yeah.
And this one, she's like, please go find her. And
Yeah.
it was almost the same style of speech.
Fair.
It was almost the same circumstance because, like, yeah, she knew she needed help, but
She knows she could do it on her own. She knows she needed that extra like adult.
exactly.
She gave birth like 18 hours before. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
She's not.
So
in
it
a
also
position.
felt
Truth.
kind of like
She's not in a
it
place
felt
to-
kind of hollow. Like, yes, yeah, she is healing from birth.
But that's where we're going to cut for this episode on Geeks Under the Influence about Quiet Place 2. We want to hear what you think about Quiet Place 2. If you like the first one or the second one better, you can hit all the social media. The links are at GUIPodcast.com, along with all the previous episodes of this show and all the other shows on the network. We've got Beautiful Disasters with Grutz and Hunter.
Yay.
We've got Mouse and Madness with Lowdown and Hunter.
Yay.
We've got
Yeah.
Smack My Pitch Up and Deeply Upsetting with me and Deeply Upsetting with Amy Bogard. So tons of shows, as well as Geek Fathers, and there's so much shit
You
available.
got Geek Fathers. and-
Geek Fathers, whatever.
So much.
Fuck you, Scotty. You're not here. And no, there's
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
There's so much stuff to listen to on GUI that literally we have over a month of audio on the network at this
We
point.
did it.
Where we are
Total?
over a month. Like we're at almost like a month and a half of audio right
Like,
now.
you're
at this
talking about
point.
straight
straight
24/7.
24/7.
Oh,
That it's
that's like unhealthy. To listen to us.
But what are you supposed to do in the apocalypse except have your earbuds in and listen to all
Exactly.
the great GUI network
But
So
shows?
in the
not in an
apocalypse, you can
apocalypse.
catch up. But
Yet.
we're not expecting you to
Anymore.
watch listen to every episode, but at least check out some of the other shows. That's at GUIpodcast.com, along with our links. Geeks Under the Influence at gmail.com for our email. Our hotline number for all the shows is 804-505-4484. That's 804-505-4GUI. To let us know the voice messages, text messages, picture messages, whatever. Send it that way. And we'll find it next time for another episode of Geeks Under the Influence. I'm Mike the Hobbit. And join us or die.
I wish there was a way to like sign language through the podcast. Shut the fuck up, Hobbit, but I can't. So shut the fuck up, Hobbit.
Yeah, fair. You just killed us all.
The fuck up, Hobbit.
Join us or die, join us or die, or I will swallow your soul.
GUIpodcast.com.